Thank you, Willem, and thank you to the Bank of Thailand for having us today. It is terrific to be with you. My name is Brooks Entwistle. I'm the Senior Vice President for Customer Success at Ripple, looking after our global customer base, and I also head up our MENA and APAC regions. I've had the pleasure of working in and around Thailand for 30 years, and in fact, almost 30 years ago, helped open the Goldman Sachs rep office in Bangkok at that time. And so this is a country that I really enjoy spending time in, but also appreciate the deep innovation that you all have around financial services and financial systems. And this conference today is exactly a perfect example of what this is about. It's amazing to think about how often now in this last year, the topic of crypto is coming up around regulatory discussions and the like, and getting together in a conference like this and getting around the table is exactly what we believe should be the relationship between regulators and market participants. So thank you very much for putting this together. I want to do three things today. And first, just give you a very quick lessons learned from our 1 decade, 10 years. We celebrated as a company last week, the entire company getting together of building an enterprise blockchain and crypto company from scratch. 2, to give you a sense of some of the value propositions we see for digital assets and blockchain and crypto going forward that are relevant to you and the audience. And then 3, I'll take a crack at that age-old question, fiat versus crypto, and how the two, one may win, one may lose, the two may coexist, which is what we believe will happen. But first, going back and just giving you a couple of quick highlights from what we've learned over these last 10 years. We set out to build RippleNet, which is a global payment system that is now in 55 countries. We did so using fiat as the base of the transaction flow, because at that time, no one was willing to talk about digital assets or crypto, and we really could hardly even get an audience, although we did in certain places in certain countries, and we've had good luck in having some of these discussions early in Thailand with some of the key market participants there. But we built this network of market participants, both senders and receivers, where people could move value across borders in a way that had not been done before. Faster, cheaper. Think about what was originally 7% money being transferred across borders would take 3 to 4 days. It could occasionally get lost, and the certainty just wasn't there. And it certainly, wasn't done in a way that had the end consumer in mind. So we stepped into that, we thought, with a better product solution, which was RippleNet, and built from that point on. Very early on, we knew that crypto and digital assets were going to play a big part of this, and we developed a product called on-demand liquidity, which is the ability to move this value across the blockchain seamlessly from one sending destination to a receiving destination in a matter of seconds. Unfortunately, in the early days, very few people were willing to buy into that because, again, they thought crypto was a bad word. Blockchain was something that wasn't, whose time had not come yet. But we actually persevered, and we found a lot of very innovative fintech companies and PSPs around the world that were willing to participate with us. And then banks came around as well. And so today, our on-demand liquidity product, the ability to send across the network in crypto using XRP, is now able to pay out in some 25 plus countries, which, by the way, is up from 3 just a year ago. And that really shows the absolute acceleration and adaptation that we have seen of this product over the last year or so. We use XRP just as a point because we do believe that it's fantastic at moving value. And as a result, it has been a perfect digital asset to move across RippleNet as we think about it. But let's move to point 2 quickly and think about the value proposition that we're seeing that may be relevant for this group in the audience and online. I talked about just moving value, which one of the early cases that we used was remittances. And some of those factoids that I mentioned earlier, the cost of doing so, the uncertainty, the sheer social issue of workers sending money from the Middle East back to the Philippines, that money not arriving to families that needed it, was something that we were trying to solve. And so remittances and payments were certainly some of the early things that we looked at. But this notion of pre-funding accounts in a destination currency is actually something that's relevant for not just payments, but also for treasury operations. And over the last year or so, we have had several customers, including FOMO-Pay in Singapore, iRemit in the Philippines, that have taken us up on an incredible opportunity to use ODL to help their cross-border treasury flows. This was a natural evolution of our product. It's something that, again, has taken idle capital and got it more useful put it into a growth mode, and help people catalyze their businesses. Ultimately, and while we are an enterprise, have an enterprise product, an enterprise company, it benefits the consumer in a big way. By using this ODL for treasury payments, the notion of 24/7, all year round liquidity access is a reality and something that we've seen great uptake on and we're excited about. Crypto at the end of the day is 24/7, 365 for instant settlements. And that's a massive, massive improvement on the world that we've all operated in. After that, I think about the last 30 years in Asia, watching these capital markets and banking systems develop. This is extraordinary, absolute leap from a technology standpoint, and is super exciting. Last and third, this notion of crypto versus fiat. And we get asked this all the time at Ripple. We actually believe that both are going to coexist for a long time. We're not in the business of putting fiat out of a place in the markets, and we don't think crypto solves everything. But we believe the two together are an unbeatable combination. We operate our RippleNet business in markets that are not open to crypto right now, and people put fiat into one of our sending partners. That is uploaded eventually to the blockchain and into our product, and ODL, and may be paid out in a country that is crypto friendly. But the fiat piece of it coming into our system and leaving our system is very important and will not go away. And this notion of crypto as a bridge and the role of stable coins is just super important as we think about how this can work and grow over time. And so we like to believe both at Ripple, but also in this question that there's a role in the middle between financial institutions that have played a key role in building financial markets for decades, and innovation and crypto-friendly institutions that are on the forefront of this. People have to be in the middle bridging these two. We do that at Ripple, and we think crypto plays a role in doing that as well. Absolutely. This company, Ripple, was started with a mission-driven opportunity to move value across borders in a way that had not been done previously. And we think ultimately that has massive impact for citizens of any country, and especially in the emerging markets. We talked today about the notion of the remittance market. It's a $750 billion market. That's a place to start. Think about taking that cost of that transaction down and passing that savings on to the consumer, to the recipients. Those dollars or pesos or whatever it may be go a lot further towards education, hospital bills, or building businesses. If you then think about this opportunity with taking that to trade flows, to small business opportunities across borders, it is so inefficient, the notion of how value is moved, how costly it is, that we believe the blockchain and crypto plays a big role in that. And the notion of capital being locked up in pre-funded accounts in treasury operations that are stuck in one market when it can be much more fluid across markets. That is capital that's being released into the system, which ultimately benefits economies and benefits systems. And so we believe that we're onto something. We've seen an incredible uptick in the last year, as I mentioned. And I would end by saying that we very much share the same ethos that Willem talked about with Google. We, from the very beginning, have been sustainability focused. We were the first crypto company to sign the Global Crypto Climate Accord, and we have a large carbon credits effort underway. And we're excited about that as well, because we believe that by doing this right and moving value the right way across borders in an environmentally friendly way is the best thing we can do for the planet.